Evening, Wellness Warriors. It's 8 o'clock on a Sunday night, Sunday the 29th of December, the last Sunday of 2019. And how quick has 2019 gone for you guys? I know it's rushed by for me. So tonight in our Empower Hour, we're opening up the conversation around mental health and wellbeing. And tonight's a goodie with we're going to be talking goals and what our plans are for 2020 to make it as healthy and happy as we all can. So we'll also discuss our wellness wins this week, and we'll also be doing the cards at the end. So thank you very much for joining us, and I can't believe how many people have been logging in straight away. Good evening, Rob. Rob the Bass is here with us. So are a few others. Be sure to pop and say right hello so I can see who is watching. And then I can give a shout out to you. And of course personalise it as much as I can. So I really hope that you've all had a wonderful Christmas. Christmas is a tough time for many people. I've always been one that has hated Christmas, probably for the last 20 years. I've always got upset at Christmas. This year I didn't. So we'll be discussing that a bit later. It's great to see so many of you join in. Hello, Karen. Hope you're well. So don't forget, be thinking of your wellness wins, guys. And we're going to be talking tonight about going into 2020 and how we can make that healthier and happier, and smash 2019 out and bring in 2020 in a way that you can get everything that you want out of life. So, okay, let's talk about Christmas. It's over, thank heavens. I've used my time, my Christmas period, to rejuvenate. Really needed it. I've seen friends, I've visited family, and I also went to London. I took my time off to go to a trip to Carnaby Street, which I'd never been to. Can you believe it? 43 years old, never been to Carnaby Street. And I loved it, and it's inspired me for 2020. So really excited about that. I've never been a lover of Christmas. Loved it when I was a kid, as you do. And then as a teenager, I would be out Christmas Eve with my friends. I'd spend Christmas Day with my nan and my family. And when all of that changed, it was really hard. I've always felt there was something missing. And even having my two boys, but they haven't really got a large family, it's always been a struggle for me. I've always felt that I'm letting them down, and yeah, so Christmas has been a tough one. In the past, me and my boys, we've cooked dinner for people, like people that were socially isolated. They were a couple of great Christmases that we did that. But this year we just had a quiet one. And do you know what? I've learned to love it. I've learned to love the time to myself. My teenage son slept half the day, but then I had friends around for dinner, and I've really learned to embrace what I've got and be thankful for it, rather than keep wishing that I had loads of family and somewhere to sort of belong to. Do you know what? I belong to my home, I belong to me, and that's good enough. So I loved Christmas this year. And I've really loved my rejuvenation time. I've loved chilling out, enjoying my home, and going to London the other day with a friend, something I haven't done in a very long time. So yeah, Christmas for me was good. How was your Christmas? Tell me about your Christmas. I know I've had some text messages of people about getting on with family members and what to do when they're antagonising with conversations, and so I've had to help some of you navigate those experiences. And as I said in the last Empower Hour, sometimes if you do find yourself in awkward situations around other people, you just got to go to the toilet and play games on your phone, or remove yourself from that situation as much as possible. Christmas is a time where everyone does, if you've got families, that they do all come together. If it's on more of a weekly thing where in-laws are visiting, or you've got other friends, maybe your partner's friends are visiting, get yourself a new hobby so you don't have to put yourself in that situation. But remember, you've got to surround yourself with people that pick you up. People that put you down, you just need to minimise your time with them. And that's if you can. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you actually have to eradicate people from your lives, because it's a hard decision to make, but you do have to look after yourself. And those that you can't eradicate, those that you can't remove, then you just have to limit your time with. But you do have to look after you, and no one has any right to put you down, to be abusive or out and out rude. Some people might even not realise they're doing it. Sometimes it's worth just a conversation of, do you know how hurtful that is? But always put in place your boundaries. That's what's important. Set yourself of what's acceptable and what's not, and know that you are always worth more than you think. We all have a habit of putting ourselves down. I showed a video on Motivated Minds earlier of Whitney Houston. Can you believe that lady had massive self-esteem issues? Like, to me, she was a goddess of a singer. She was beautiful, but her co-star Kevin Costner always said that she never thought she was enough. And I know that many of people I come into contact with, we always question whether we're enough. And we are, as long as our hearts are always in a good place and we don't ever hurt other people. That's what it's about. And we are allowed to protect ourselves with our boundaries and go, you know what, I don't like the way you're treating me, therefore I'm either going to remove myself from the situation, or you've got a chance to rectify it one way or the other. So that's my thoughts on that anyway. Right, we're steaming into 2020. What are your plans? We use the word resolutions every year. However, resolutions, to me, I make resolutions and they're not accountable. They're just a pie in the sky, I think. What I've done when I've been my best self is I split my year up into 13-week sections, so 4 sections of 13 weeks. So for this year, I've already mapped it out. I've got January through to March the 29th. I think it then goes March to June the 21st. 21st of June through to September, mid-September, and then mid-September till December. So I split the year into 4 chunks. So my goal next year is to get back my physical health, and to maintain working regular hours and not go over my regular hours. And to get, so for me, that work-life balance, and for and my physical health. I mean, I've absolutely let it decline over the last couple of years. So I wrote myself, I use Just Keep, which is an Android, where is it? Keep. Sort of post-it note thing. So I've got my goal in the first 13 weeks, I've got to work no more than 37.5 hours a week, to prep all my foods and eat 5 times a day, because we should imagine our bellies like a coal fire, and we mustn't let it fan out. What else have I got? Drink only water or squash. And oh my God, that's going to be so hard for me. And I do know that I'm probably going to be in tears the first or second day that I do that, because I've got so addicted again to Coca-Cola and appetizer. 9 p.m. bedtime with a 6:30 rise, because although I know my 9 p.m. bedtime is best for me, sometimes I sit up till 10, 11, 12, and I still try getting up at 6:30, and that has a knock-on effect of me not getting enough sleep for the rest of the week, and it impacts on how I eat the next day, how I feel the next day. So we should be aiming for about 8 hours sleep a night. So it's worth reviewing your sleep. That's number one, really, for supporting our health. Getting your sleep right, getting drinking right. Don't drink your calories, as I was told by the lovely Cheryl Forberg when I was in LA. So that's what I'm going to try and do. And I've decided that I'm going to order my food shopping in to save me trying to find time to go food shopping. So, so for the first 13 weeks, my goal is to lose 3 stone by prepping all my foods, eating 5 times a day, drinking only water. I'm going to be walking 10,000 steps a day in January, which is part of our challenge 2020. Swimming 4 times a week. And I've decided that every day I swim next year, I'm going to swim 1 more length each time that I swim. So by the end of the year, I should be reaching about swimming 300 odd lengths a day. So yeah, I'm quite excited about that. I'm going to volunteer at Parkrun in January, because in February I want to take part and do them. And I'll only be walking, but at least if I'm volunteering in January, I get to walk there. And I'm up at that time, so I'm prepping myself ready to be there to take part for February. So that's what I'm planning for my physical health. For me personally, I want to go to the Tate Museum and the garden at Fenchurch Street. So that's going to be like my day out to sort of escape Essex and to escape the mundane. So that's my sort of 13-week challenge that I've got planned. And each week, each 13-week section after that builds on that. So I'll be introducing new things for my set a lot of goals in March, and I'll be adding more on that in section 3, which is June, and more on that in section 4. So my year will build up. So that's how I'm looking at my goals next year. So what goals do you guys have? What are your what things have you put in place? Now, I was chatting to someone that works really hard the other day, and I asked them what their sort of 5-year plan was, because they were doing 15 hours a day, 7 days a week for their employer. And they responded that they didn't have a plan. And I think personally that life goes by way too quick not to have a plan. It might be that you want to take your kids on a holiday to so and so, or it might be that you want to get a day trip into the zoo, or da da da. But I think if we don't have things set in stone, and I'm not saying that we have to live rigidly by having everything set in stone, because it's also nice to be spontaneous, but I think that life goes extremely quick, and sometimes before we know it, we can look back and go, oh Christ, I've done nothing over the last 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, a year, and life has just all rolled into one. So I'd really encourage you guys to sit down and think what you would like to do in 2020. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, go to the Maldives, or it hasn't got to be massive like that, but it's just about where is your time for you in this? Where is your family time in for this? Where's your sort of learning time or your growth time? Where's your time for physical activity? But map it all in. And one thing that I've used in the past, and I've just made again tonight, and I can't show you unfortunately because I haven't got a printer at home, but I always do a timetable, a weekly timetable, Monday to Sunday, of when I'm going to get up, when I'm going to have breakfast, when I'm going to do the housework, when I'm going to go to work, when I'm going to come home, when I'm going to do dinner, when I'm going to have reading time, when I'm going to have physical activity time. And I've put all of that into sort of a colour-coded chart, which will then sit on my fridge. And it helps remind me, it helps reinforce that every day. Because the thing is, when we're at work, we have schedules, we have our meetings, we have everything's accountable. But our lives, sometimes they don't go accountable. They just go, wake up, and you go through the day zombified. And that's when I find time escapes me. Whereas when I've lived my best self, I literally have everything sort of like quite regimented. Don't get me wrong, my downtime is mine to choose what I want to do, but it's time blocked. So I know that actually if I get my food shopping delivered on a Thursday, it means that I haven't got to do it on a Saturday when I've got my time where I can then spend it with my family, or I can take a trip up to London, or I can, I don't know, jump in the car and go to Brighton for the day, or but it just gives me, it frees up that time. So I think by looking at your timetable of what you do makes you realise just we're working, most of us, between sort of 35, 40-hour week. We put that in, and then actually we need to put in time for rest, time for us, time for the kids, time for and we really need to look at our time and manage our time well. So that's what I would really recommend that you guys look at going into the new year, is managing your time and making sure that you're getting enough time for you, um, and getting enough time for your family. And because none of us know how long we've got left on this planet. Just this week, one of my someone close to me has just been diagnosed with a life-limiting illness. We don't know how long they've got left, and another friend passed away. So it's tremendously sad that they're both in their 40s. So we do have to look at living healthier in 2020, and making the most and creating these memories, not just for us but for those around us, and so we can inspire. I want to inspire. I've got a granddaughter, Hayley. I want to inspire world domination for her, and just make that time. So, and I really would like it if you guys could just spare a moment between now and New Year's of just what's gone well in 2019 and what you'd like to replicate and what you can build on, because that would be really important, I think, is just building a happier and healthier 2020. So, my lovelies, you're all very quiet tonight, but I've got so many of you joined in. I've got lovely Victoria, lovely Alex, Catherine, Charlene, Paul. It's great to see so many of you, and lovely Lindsay. So let's talk. I'm gonna actually show you again. I showed you last week, I think it was, but I left them by the computer, my doTERRA oils, and I left them by the computer. So tonight when I was loading the computer up, I thought, oh, I'm going to put one on. So I put peppermint, because this time of year I get all stuffy, so peppermint is really good for helping you breathe. So yeah, I'll put that on. Right, let's get over to these cards. What cards do you want, guys? First, do you want stress less? Do you want affirmations, or do you want empowering questions? Let me know. And in the meantime, you can tell me your wellness wins. What have been your wins this week? 3 wins. Mine was going to Carnaby Street. I walked 20,000 steps, and I will say I am absolutely aching. I went with a beautiful young lady of 65 years old, and she outshopped me. I was dead halfway round, and she put me to shame. She really did. So now I'm in recovery, but I loved London. We went to Carnaby Street, we then went to Regent Street, and the Angels look phenomenal. We walked through Covent Garden, and they had all like the sea in lights. So there was whales, there was jellyfish. It was just stunning. We walked to Leicester Square, and then up to Covent Garden and all around there. So had a lovely time. But when I got back, someone told me about the garden at Fenchurch Street, which I didn't know. But it's free to get into, and it's a 15th floor public space. So it's free entry, and it's a garden on top of a roof of a building. So next time I'm up London, I'm definitely going to be going to see that. So and I love London because you can just walk for hours and hours and see so much. So I'll definitely be getting that in again, certainly, hopefully by February. So yeah, that would be good. So that was definitely one of my wellbeing wins. Another wellbeing win was definitely just switching off and enjoying copious amounts of TV series. I don't think I need to watch telly for the rest of the year now. I'm TV'd out. So, but yeah, I enjoyed that. I watched The Witcher, which I've never seen the games, but yeah, I enjoyed that series. My third wellness win. I bought my granddaughter a car seat today, a forward-facing one, and she loved it. So I got to take her out. It's a lot easier than putting her in a rear-facing one. So yeah, taking out my granddaughter today, took her shopping. So and she got some clothes in the sale. So yeah, loved it, absolutely loved it. That's my 3 wellness wins. So what are your wellness wins? Alex has just said the Sky Garden. Yes, I've heard about Sky Garden, but you do have to book in advance, whereas the garden, you don't have to book, you can just go in. So, and to the Sky Garden, do you have to pay for that, Alex, as well? So, yeah, I'll have to look that one up actually and find out that information. But I might add that into one of my goals. I've always wanted to do the Tower of London as well. So I might put that into one of my day out goals for 2020. So, wellbeing wins then, guys. Come on, rob the base. What are your 3 wins? What's gone well for you this week? Alex, what are your 3 wins? Alex has been cooking away. I've seen Toad in the Hole on Facebook. I'm sure there's been lots of cakes. Alex even put charades. One of her sons playing charades online the other night, and I was trying to guess what his charade was. That was quite funny. So, what are your wellness wins, guys? Oh, you're quiet tonight. Right. Well, I'm going to choose card then. I'm going to go for stress less first of all. Right. Okay. So, thank yourself for being. Behind all of your doings is you. Sorry. Behind all of your doings is you. Independent of your gains, goals, and everything you do. The true you will show when you give up doing for a while. Close your eyes and thank yourself for being able to just be. Even if it feels hard not to do anything, just sit there and thank yourself for being. Thank yourself for being so much more than you can prove by doing and saying stuff to others. Gratefulness helps us to be in the present moment positively. When you experience the here and now, it reduces stress, and that is very true. So that's our thank yourself for being. Behind all of your doings is you, independent of your gains, goals, and everything you do. The true you will show when you give up doing for a while. Just be thankful. Isn't that lovely? Right, so we're thanking ourselves for being just us. Empowering questions. Let's grab the empowering questions. Oh, Alex wins. Our cinema visit with my mum to see Little Women. Not killing anyone on Christmas Day. And yes, awesome food. Oh, that's brilliant, Alex. That Little Women looks really good, actually. I've never read the book, and I've heard so much about it over the years. And Not killing anyone Christmas Day. That's a Christmas Day miracle, if ever I've heard of one. And awesome food. Brilliant. I went to see Star Wars last night with my youngest. That was interesting. Tied up a lot of the story that's been going on for decades now. I was a bit disappointed, though, I've got to say, but I can't give any spoilers. So, yes. Right. Okay. We've got an empowering question, guys. Got an empowering question. Alex has said Tower of London is great. And Alex has said read Little Women before you watch the film. Okay, right. Empowering questions. Is there something in my life that makes me forget time while I'm doing it? What is it? Oh, so this is called a state of flow if you enter into this. Is there something in my life that makes me forget time while I'm doing it? So do you enter a flow state? It's a positive psychology theory that we enter into a flow state when we're doing something such as mindfulness colouring, such as... Have I moved mine? No, I haven't moved mine. It's still there. Right, hold on, I'll show you. I like painting. It's not finished yet. It's going to be a lotus flower when it's done. But that's what I've been doing over the last couple of days. I like my art. What else? I must admit, I enter into flow state when I'm working. Not everyone feels that way, though. I know a lot of friends that run, and they enter flow state when they run. So, Rob, I think we've mentioned before, when you're playing your music, you go into just forgets time. So, and if you don't have something, maybe find something. Maybe look at lovely Paul was with us earlier. I don't know if he still is, but he rides a motorbike. And I wonder if that's his hobby, of where he just, when you go out on the road. I've always wanted to do my motorbike licence, haven't, but I've always wondered if once you're out there and you're doing it, whether that would bring in that sort of flow state. Yeah. So let me know, what do you do to enter your flow state? And if not, what can you find? What would you like to experiment with? Rock painting, Charlene. Oh, excellent. Oh, some of those rock paintings are amazing. We do that as part of our therapeutic arts and crafts every now and again, both with kids and adults. And we love going to hide them. We need to do it more often, Charlene. Any tips you can give us, that would be great, because we originally started it with Sharpies, and then we progressed to paints. But yeah, any tips? So rock painting, it's a bit of what's the word? Bit of a cult going on with rock painting, where people paint absolutely stunning rocks, stones, and I see some tremendous ones, and then they go and hide them in parks or around villages, around towns, and more often than not, the kids find them and then post them up on, I think it's on a Facebook group, Rock Painting UK or something like that, where they found it, and then they'll either hide it again or they'll paint another one and put one back. But rock painting is, some of them that I see, Charlene, are unreal, so feel free to share any pictures with us. Posca pens, I haven't looked at them, Alex, I'll have to look them up. Catherine said, hi Carla and everyone, watching briefly with kids as it's holidays, so they are up later than normal. Hi kids! I hope you've had a wicked Christmas. I know Catherine has been got you your presents. I knew what you was getting a little bit before you guys did. How was Edible, Edgar? I was jealous that you got that. He's brilliant. Right, daughter says she hits a flow state when reading if it's a good book. Excellent. Catherine, ask your daughter what is her favourite book. That'd be an interesting one. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to know your favourite book. And I know your daughter plays instruments as well. Does she hit flow state when she's ever playing an instrument? Would be my other question to her. Oh, that's it. There's one in Wickford called Love on the Rocks. So there's a Facebook group, Love on the Rocks, and they share the rocks and go and hide them in all the parks. I think it's a great way to get adults and children alike, both arty, crafty, and then going out for walks to hide them. I think it's a fantastic. We should do more of it at Motivated Minds. We really should. Four Children and It. I haven't ever read the book. I've seen the film, but Four Children and It, that's our recommendation from Catherine's daughter. So thank you very much for making your recommendation. To your children as well, Catherine, what are their goals for 2020? What would they like to achieve? Obviously, they're still at school, but you're never too young to start thinking, what would you like to do in terms of your health, in terms of your well-being? So is there any places that they'd like to visit? And please don't say Australia, because otherwise Catherine's going to string me up, because Australia isn't on the list, kids. But is there anywhere that they'd like to go? Is there anything that they'd like to try and have never tried before? Yeah, it's worth thinking about what you'd like to do. Right, Alex has said, my favourite book is Little Women. Well, all four of the series, to be honest. Oh, I didn't realise it was a series. No, she doesn't typically hit flow with instrument. She gets bored quickly. Okay. So yeah, Catherine just said flow for her daughter with the instruments isn't that, but books are. I've read quite a few books in my time. Where I remember reading the Harry Potter series actually, and you just have to keep reading, and like you want to go to sleep, and you need to go to sleep, and you just want to carry on reading. I did that with Harry Potter. I did that with Twilight. I did that with many James Patterson, and who was my other one? John Grisham. I read all of their books up until my degree. Since my degree, I don't think I've actually read any fiction. I tend to keep all my reading these days psychology. So yeah, Harry Potter World booked for Lo's birthday. See, that's something I'd like to do. I haven't put that on my list. Harry Potter World is meant to be awesome, so maybe that should go on my list. I will say I saw trailer for Dr. Dolittle the other day, and I was wishing my little granddaughter to be older already. How wrong is that? Can't wait to take her to the cinema. But even better when she'll be older and I can take her to all of the out and abouts. Catherine has just said, boy, designed my first business class cabin design for my aircraft business I'm planning. Excellent. Awesome, boy. That's brilliant. Don't ask, move over, Richard Branson. No, I'm quite happy to submit your design to me, please, Mr. Boykeene, and then I'll hold you accountable for it. So I want that by June, though, so you've got 6 months. Daughter, I'd like to walk over the O2 and do a zip wire over Fremont Street in Las Vegas. Look, before Catherine shoots me, because like the price is going up a bit, we can definitely do the O2. And Fremont Street in Vegas, you're going to have to start saving your pocket money. And if I were you, I'd go and offer to do the washing up now. Right. Charlene Steele said, I write positive quotes and hide them at Hainault Forest. My niece and nephew love it. Love on the Rocks groups, gives loads of tips and have a tutorial on Thursday evenings. Oh, I didn't know that. I'll have to tune into that. So for anyone interested in the rock painting, there is a group called Love on the Rocks, and they now have a tutorial on a Thursday evening. So it's honestly happening all over the UK, and I know that I go and buy a bag of, literally a sack full of pebbles for $7.99 from my local garden centre, and that's because I'm too lazy to go and hunt for them, but I could go and hunt for them easily. But because I obviously, for Motivated Minds, I have like 30 kids or 30 adults, I go and buy a sack load. But yes, so if you want to get involved in something like that, and they haven't got to be works of art. I mean, some people's are amazing. I've seen the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland, and it looks, I mean, it's spot on. I've seen so many fantastic ones, but it can be something as simple as smile. It's Monday, or do you know what I mean? It could be anything. Charlene loves writing positive quotes, and I think that's really important. So I'd love to see more of them around. Catherine's just also said, what a positive thing to do, Charlene. And it's great family time as well, guys. So it might be something, Catherine, you might want to grab boy one and girl one and go, you know what, we're going to go and do these, and we're going to go and hide them in a park, and it's a great thing to do on a Saturday to get out of the house. And that might spark off something that you guys then do regularly. So, and I think certainly for the people finding them, we never know what people are going through, and it just might make the difference to someone of knowing that they've found something that's positive and gives them hope. Alex has said, aim for 2020 is to get a few individuals through year 11. It could be a challenging 6 months. I'm sure, being a teacher, and when they're your goals, yeah, unfortunately, year 11s don't realise what they've got until they're in their 20s. I was talking to my youngest the other day, and I said to him, so what was you like at school? And he said, oh, I was a git, mum. And I'm like, but why? I don't understand. I always tried to encourage you to be the best you could be. And it's just like, because I was bored. And I did always say to his teachers he was bored and he needed stimulating more. But just, yeah, our brains aren't geared for exams and for all of that, I don't think, at year 11. But hey ho, good luck, Alex, with that. We used to do the rocks also. Not sure any of our artwork was that great, but it was great fun to see when people found them. Absolutely. It's never about the artwork. It's about that time of sitting, I think, this is why we do it Motivate Minds, sitting down either as family or as a group and just chatting whilst you're doing it, and then going out for a walk and hiding them. And if you do ever see them pop up somewhere, it's fabulous. I know that someone really kind made quite a few Motivated Minds ones, and when they popped up, people tagged us in, and it was like, oh bless, that's lovely. So it spreads the word. So yeah, I really like that. I'm really bummed up tonight. Sorry, I should where's me? I'm gonna put some more peppermint on. So it's cold season, and I tell you what, there's been so much of it going around with this flu. I know a lot of my guys that we work with, we all got this flu bug, and I've seen that over the Christmas period, so many of them have been continuously ill with it, which has been a bit sad, really. Clears the nostrils. So there's a lot of it going around. So I really hope you guys get as much self-care in as you can. Oh, I can breathe again through my nose. I'm not very good at painting, but draw little flowers with simple quotes. Charlene, that's perfect. And the fact that you're getting out and hiding them, and you're doing it with your niece and nephew, I think is fabulous. So teaches them so much. And it's about memories. I think life is about memories. I know what's dragged me through my harder time is always memories. Those spent with my nan, my granddad, my friends. Yeah, it's just you're creating positive memories with your niece and nephew. So that's fabulous. Sorry. I'm on the peppermint. So, what are you guys doing New Year's Eve? Are you going out, or are you in? I'm probably going to be in. I haven't got plans for anything out yet. Dare I say that I'm really taking every moment that I'm having off as a real treat to myself. So I don't mind spending it on my own. I really don't. I'm happy if anyone wanted to come round and just watch films or, I don't know, just veg. So it's another day. And the 1st of January is when I'm going to get my thing on. So when I know I've got to get up and do 10,000 steps on that first day. And the way my legs are feeling right now after doing 20,000 a couple of days ago, I know that I'm going to have to do it in little jaunts. So walk around the block like at 9 o'clock in the morning, then 11 o'clock or something, and then just do quick regular jaunts. Because when you're starting off with sort of at ground zero, you have to do small and often, small and often, small and often before you can do more sort of intense straight stuff. So yeah, so I'm going to start off with my little walks. Right, I haven't done New Year as such since I was about 18. It's just another day. Yeah, exactly, Alex. I mean, some people, they go all out, don't they? I mean, fireworks, like locally, I don't mind up London or in the cities. I think it's quite fabulous. But I think locally, I'm just like, oh, okay, no, not necessarily. I think if you've got a party to go to and you're that way inclined, and then awesome, but I'm just quite happy to spend it indoors and know that I've got to be up early 2020, the 1st of January, to get my year going. So, and I'd rather set it off bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. So, but it's another bank holiday. Right, I'm afraid my goal for 2020 is probably more work related. This year was quite focused on me, but we've got some major work to do this year. That's okay. That's okay. It's not always got to be about us. It can be work related. Some years it's going to be work related. Other work, it's all balanced as long as it's not work related every year. So what? So it's going to be quite focused with major work to do this year. So just break down your goals, communicate them. I like putting my goals visually. So I've got screensavers, and my stage one of my first 13 weeks, I'm going to put all around visually, so I stay on track, and then I will keep accountable probably on a 4 week, 4, 8, 12, yeah, about 4 week track, so I can see how I'm going towards it. Love the way Carla's goals can be both people and work related due to what you do, though. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's got to be like, because some people say, oh, it should always just be about us. But the thing is, I really struggled with that, because for many years, like, we have to pay our bills. Let's face it, we have to pay our bills, and we have to keep roofs over our head. So for some years, I've had to totally sink my personal ones down and pull up my work ones. But I always knew that was a relatively 1 or 2 year, 3 year goal. And then there's the work-life balance, which is now sort of 2020. So it's okay to work's important. At the end of the day, work gives us much more than just paying the bills as well. It should build on our confidence. It should build our our, our, our friendships. Like, over the years, I've worked and I've made friends with people. I've gone on training that's improved my knowledge. So I think it's important to have work goals as well, and to make sure that your management understand your goals in work. And I think them also understanding your personal goals. As I said to you about a friend who works 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, earlier on, I think that person should also sit down with their boss and go, this isn't sustainable long term, because I've got a young family, I've got this, and this is important to me. And I think an employer should take all of that into consideration as well. Work is a massive part of our life. You need to be getting something out of it other than money. Absolutely. And as I said, it's friendships, it's learning, and to me, the most important thing that I've managed to put myself in a position of is that I love it. I honestly, truly love it. I remember reading a quote, oh Christ, must have been about 8, 9 years ago. Richard Branson: find something you love and work out how to get money from it. So build what you want to do, and then work out getting paid later. And that's what we did with Motivated Minds. So we're very, very lucky that it's worked out. But it's a job can't be, if we're spending, say, average of 40 hours a week from sort of, say, 20 to 65, 70, we're spending all of that time in work. We've got to love what we do, or it's got to be a stepping stone towards what we want to do. You can't always walk straight into the job. Like, I don't know, Catherine, if you're a young man still watching, you might not be able to walk straight into British Airways and go, I'm going to redesign all your business class cabins. You might have to start off, oh, well, I'm going to help design, I don't know, the toilet. Yeah. Sometimes you have to take jobs that are stepping stones. And then again, that's where your goals come in. And you want to be employed by people that respect that as well, that respect that you've got a work-life balance. And yeah, I don't think I've had to many times sacrifice my home time for work, and that was when I was under other employers. And it's not something that I wanted to do, and I knew that setting up Motivated Minds, it would do that, but my end goal is that it won't. I can have some flexibility, or I can create an environment that it's okay for my son to come in and say hello, or my granddaughter when she's older for her to come and take part in a youth club or a kids club or an adventure day or all sorts. So it's about having balance in everything. So and I think our goal should always represent that. And some years there's going to be swings and there's going to be roundabouts. So some years it might be focused a lot more on work, other years it might be focused a lot more on us. And mine next for 2020 is certainly going to be 50-50 equal, which is the first time actually in all my life that I get that. I've got to a point now where I'm super lucky that actually I'm not even having to worry. I've always had to worry about keeping a roof over my head or earning enough money, or I've always had like a fear in me as a single mum, and now my boys are older and moved out, and or one's about to move out, and I'm now earning money, and it's all coming together, and I'm like, wow, okay, I don't know what this is, this no sort of pressure. Yeah, I don't know. It's a new lot. It's going to be a new way forward for me, one that I'm sure I'll have to try and navigate over the year. But yeah, when you've always been worried about childcare or earning enough money to pay the mortgage, rent, council tax, electricity, who's watched a film on Virgin and added £5 on the bill, do you know what I mean? And just all of that. It's just I'm coming to a stage in my life now where I'm like, wow, okay, everything's covered. So right, Catherine, I'm not going into BA. So boy one has said I'm not going to BA. I'm actually designing my own aeroplanes. Awesome. Actually, he is planning to go and work at BA as they have a pilot training school, and he's already looked into that. Someone needs to fund his training though. Yes, boy one, I used to hang around with some pilots a very long time ago. What you might be better off doing is going to Southend, get Catherine to take you down to Southend and chatting to some of the pilots. And you might be able to, when you're older, start by refueling the planes or cleaning the planes, and you'll get into chatting to the right people and put yourself in that right environment. You're a little bit young at the moment, but by the time you're 14, 15, you can have a Saturday job at Southend, and that's a way to work your way up. In the meantime, though, boy one, please go and do the washing up and earn your pocket money. Good evening, Chantel. Lovely for you to join us. Catherine's also said, I'd be interested if you share some of your visual goal representations, Carla, by the way. I'd be interested in how you balance the businessy bits, the people bits, and the me bits. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll upload a couple of bits in Team Motivated, our private group. I'll upload my time planner, and I'll upload my vision board. So if anyone wants to come and do a vision board with me, I'm quite happy to do one on a Saturday or Sunday. I used to do mine by the old arts and crafts, chopping up magazines, putting them on a canvas, sticking them on a canvas or a corkboard. But I prefer now to do them basic Word document, cut and paste pictures in off of the internet. And I'm going to show you my one on my phone, but you're going to have to excuse all the, you can only see part of it. Right, so this is my one on my phone. There's basically all different pictures as my screensaver. So I've got down here a little baby, but the baby's all happy and healthy. I've got savings. Sorry, I'm trying to get so I can point, and I'm crap at this visual backwards thing. So yeah, I've got savings there. I've got reading time by the water. I love water. It makes me very calm. I've got a heart there for a healthy heart. I've got reduce the stigma of mental health. I've got me laughing in someone's arms because that would be nice. I've got, what else have I got there? Just going to scroll through my phone and you'll see that in the middle somewhere there's a motivated minds thing, there's the rocks with peace. So this is my digital vision board. I've got holding hands with someone. Let's see, I can't get right over to the side, but I've got travel and I've got a nice clean tidy house, and I've got all of that on my screensaver and it's on my computer. So whenever I log on to my phone, it's just always there. And so that's my vision board. That's my digital vision board. And then I've got my goals written down as a time thing of sort of everything from 6:30 to 9-10 o'clock at night. And then I've also got on Keep my business bits, my people bits, and the me bits. So I'll upload some of that to Team Motivated. And if anyone does want to sit down and do a personal one, I'll do a personal one with you. Just give me a holler and we can get a one-to-one in. That's absolutely fine. And then if you want, I'll also hold you accountable for the 13 weeks. We'll do it in 13-week cycles. So, and we would meet after 6 weeks as well. So, Alex has said, join the Air Cadets when older and get some flying experience through them. Ah, there you go, boy one. So, yeah, Air Cadets would be a good call as well for world domination of taking over or building your own airline. Boy one, you might want to sign up for our, how old are you now? 20, so 2030 goals. And we'll do your goals from now to 2030 so we can get you building your own airline. Hello, loving and listen while changing Poppy's nappy. Oh, that's awesome. And happy Christmas, Poppy. And I can't believe how big she's getting, Chantel, and it would be an absolute pleasure to catch up with you sometime. We've just been talking about goals for 2020 and getting that work-life balance in. And I'm lucky in 2020 I get to shift my whole what was 2019 and 2018 and 2017, which was all about business. I get that work-life balance in 2020. So, Chantel, I'd love to catch up with you and meet Poppy. So, what, excuse me, what, we're coming up. We've only got 3 minutes left. Oh my gosh, time has flown. This is a flow state. Right, we need our affirmator, guys. Let me just, oh, sorry. I weighted down the laptop with a cup. So it wasn't wonky. Right, this week's affirmator, guys. So make sure you get your goals written down. If anyone wants to send them to me for me to look over or for me to help you be accountable to them, please do. And let's go for... oh dear, I'll cough. Ah. Okay. Perseverance. It seems you're on a massive journey right now, and this card has a right to remind you that you will reach the other side. The mountain you're climbing is huge and formidable, but so is your ability to climb it. You don't need to enjoy it, you just need to tackle it. Complain if it makes the job easier, blow off steam. You think mountain climbers get to the top of Everest on inspirational quotes? No way. They're grunting and crying and cursing like freaking pirates. That just doesn't sell a lot of posters. Right, I love that one. Because that is, guys, anyone that is kicking off their 2020 health goals is what we're going to be like. I know me going sugar-free again. on January the 1st, I'm literally going to have to take probably minute by minute of crying that I can't have Coke and sugar and all sorts of things, and I'm going to find it really tough. And I know that walking all the steps that I've got to do, yeah, I know it's going to be a killer, but it's minute by minute, and it's hour by hour, and it's day by day. And remember, guys, I'm going to be here for you for this year for your goals. So, my angels, our hour is up. Thank you so much, my wellness warriors, for listening in and hearing me rant on another week. And I hope you all enjoy your New Year's Eve, whether you're staying in, whether you'll be changing bums, whether you'll be with friends, or whether you'll just be sleeping. It's all up to you. It's each to their own, okay? Don't ever feel that what you're doing is wrong. It's got to be right for you, okay? So remember, January 1st, we're going to wake up and we're going to live healthier and happier in 2020. And I'm absolutely going to be beside you doing that. So if you need any help, advice, or just a kick up the bum, then please just message me and I will be that for you. Love to you all. Have an awesome week and thank you for tuning in. See you all next Sunday, 8 o'clock, Empower Hour. Much love. Bye.